Welcome back, everybody, to our podcast, The Cunning Buffoons. My name's Dylan.
I'm Tom.
I'm Andrew.
Just keep on going.
It doesn't matter how many times
Okay,
we
guys.
do it. It's
Mom, which
still
camera? Which
funny.
camera? Which camera?
We're on neither camera.
I think this one.
Okay, we'll go to that one because I don't like that.
Well, hang on.
He likes to look
Bossy?
I like to be able to look. I can like.
Dude, be nice to your
There you
producer.
go.
Okay. Today
She
we're going to talk
created
about.
you.
Can you cut me up? Why am I?
It's
Can you-
trash can cam too. Hang on.
Cute.
Can I throw this coffee mug?
There we go. Okay. No.
There.
So it's on the camera.
The camera you want. Yes.
Okay. Okay. We're going to talk about why you should not get back with your ex because people are stupid. And like there's certain scenarios, but like especially when your ex did something wrong towards you and y'all broke up because of it, why get back together? So that's so stupid. Or the people who say, "Oh, I don't want to hurt them."
What do you mean you don't want to hurt him?
Oh, I don't want to tell them I don't want to talk anymore because I don't want to hurt them. Like
Yeah.
sometimes
Then you
you
still care.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter if you still care. If they're not good for you, womp the freakity wonk. Tell them you're not talking anymore. It is not that hard.
Malachi, you didn't
Hurt
get
some feelings. Who
you didn't
cares?
get like full on sociopathy like me, but like you've got a few of the traits of a sociopath, as in you have the ability to just cut off emotions.
Or just be mean. Why can people? I don't want to hurt their feelings. Sometimes it's better if their feelings get hurt for both of you in the long run, because both of you need to move on.
Yeah, but that's the kindness versus niceness debate. Like everybody's like, you need to be nice. No, I don't. Like nice would be lying to them or keeping talking to them. Kind would be like, hey, you did this. It's unacceptable. I'm no longer going to be talking to you. We can't be, couple or whatever. But like, I hope that you learn from it and grow from it. But like, for my own benefit, I'm distancing myself from you. And I guess that's the hard part too. Is a lot of people don't view themselves high enough to.
That's what I'm thinking. Is like it's. You can literally text and say, "Hey, it's better for me if we stop talking."
Yeah, but then they're going to be like, why not? Why?
Dude, these smartphones have this amazing feature. Okay. Blocked.
Do not disturb.
Yeah, but
Airplane mode.
at least do that. Like call them.
Text them.
If you can't say it out loud, you're not ready to do it.
What do you mean?
Well, like in any conflict, dealing with any problem, like if it's serious, okay, like text somebody and say, hey, I accidentally dinged your car door this morning or something. Like, if you want to get it fixed, I'll fix it. That, like, that's fine. Text somebody. Text somebody and say, hey, like my house flooded. I'm gonna be later. Something like that's okay to text. But like if it's a serious issue, like a relationship breaking up or something like that, get on the phone, call them, and tell them, with an actual voice. Because unless you're ready to say it out loud a lot of times, I don't think you're ready to do it.
Also, we collectively, as a generation called Gen Z, need to stop using Snapchat.
I agree with that.
Because here's one of my biggest things is half our generation hates it anyway. When I talk to people at the 4-H camps, I talk about Snapchat and they're like, "Oh, we just get it cuz it's the norm." It's super hard to keep up with. We don't even like it, but if you don't have it, it's hard to keep up with stuff around.
I've never had Snapchat because I'm too ugly to be a hooker and I'm not a drug dealer anymore. And like Snapchat wasn't there when I was. So like, in my opinion, Snapchat is for like hookers and drug dealers. But apparently it's this widely popular app. But I still have no clue how it works. My understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong because you guys understand better, they send a picture, they can put a little caption with it, and then the picture disappears after a while.
Yep. No, after
yeah,
you
I don't know
open
if
it,
it
it
just
disappears instantly. Yeah.
I thought it died in 2016, so
It should have.
yeah, I was like,
That's the problem.
yeah.
Is it's
No, Dylan, democracy died in 2016
nobody
when Hillary
likes
Clinton
it.
got defeated. Okay.
No
Well,
one
see-
really likes Snapchat.
No, well, we got Instagram, and then TikTok came along, and then I never heard of Snapchat. Then all of a sudden I'm hearing about it again.
Exactly.
I could see like where Snapchat would have been fun, like if you're going on vacation or something, like just keeping up with your family, being able to just send snaps.
But-
Like if the snaps didn't disappear, but like I understand they disappear because it's like widely used for like sexual material, and especially like for a long time. One of the reasons you didn't hear about it for a long time is I think there was a big thing where like it was a couple schools or something to where kids figured out how to keep the photos.
Well, you can screenshot them, but it notifies the person who sent it.
Does it actually?
Well, I mean, but that's like kids were screenshotting them, and all of a sudden they're sharing all types of explicit material of people who. But that's the key too. Like the generation needs to be educated. Like we grew up with MS DOS. Like you logged into the daggum computer by watching a little green freaking black, go back and forth, and you typed in. Like my internet gaming days started with Telnet and like the old turn-based role-playing games, But then it quickly developed into this permanency. Like if it goes on the internet,
Yeah.
it's on the internet.
And I don't know, like, I think a lot of people in our generation and a little bit younger than us didn't grasp that. And maybe it was just because my dad was very technological, but like, he gave me warnings. He like made me aware of
Yeah,
the
but we've
fact
been
that you
married
need
for
to
22
be careful
years,
what
and you
put on
still
the
don't send
internet.
me nudes.
That's true. Cause
Like, I mean, that's like the norm now, though. Like, I know people that they're like have approached me and been like, "Yeah, this girl I'm talking to, she's been sending me some photos, and she really," and I'm like, "Wait a minute, you're talking to her, you haven't even met her, and she's sending you naked photos, and you want to go do things with this person."
Yuck.
I don't understand. Like, to me, having sex, especially like someone who's had partners before is one thing, but having sex with the type of people that are screw, 2 or 3 guys a week or 2 or 3 girls a week, like for a girl, if that guy goes in you are essentially, in my opinion, having sex with all them other women too. Same with the guys.
Pretty gross.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do we get to? Okay.
It's
That's what I was gonna say.
It's the Snapchat.
Listen, guys.
Yeah, Malachi was on the phone over here. Just you're saying.
Okay.
I was too, but I was listening.
Listen,
Were you on
guys, us
Snapchat?
as a generation too.
I don't even own.
Don't have sex online. Have it in person. Because, like,
It's not
I have
sex
to give
online.
I have to give a concept. So I was asking if I could be on my phone later because I'm older now. And then they were like, if you get caught doing anything, obviously, then the privileges will be taken away. And I was like, look, I'm not gonna have sex online. And I said, I'll just do it in person. And then went to high five my dad, and he didn't want to give me a high five.
Dang,
It's
why
bec-
not?
It's because my wife was glaring at me. She was giving me the "do not high five that boy," and I'm like, "Well, at least he's not like dumb enough to masturbate and call it sex.
Don't have sex online.
It's not online sex. It's masturbation. Like you're not cool,
Yeah.
And the thing too, like, is sex has been blown like way out of proportion. Now, I'll full on admit it's one of the greatest things on this planet, in the proper context. It's just like
Masturbation?
no, sex.
said
You gotta
sex.
you
Off
gotta
your
get off your phone.
phone.
If I see a Snapchat pop up on
I
that,
don't have Snapchat.
it better be a hooker or a drug dealer.
I do not have Snapchat.
Yeah, we can show. You can go through my phone. Well, actually, no, you can't. But I'm joking.
You been on the weird side of anime again? Is it all tentacles and squids?
They won't get away, dog.
They won't leave. They hold on tight. I can't help it.
But basically, what I'm thinking is all the people I meet who are like, oh, well, we just keep it to keep up with stuff, or we just keep it because everybody else has it.
That's what text messages are for.
Be different. Delete Snapchat today. Also, a lot of people hate it because it's ruined texting. No one can hold a conversation over text, and it's ruined the whole getting to know each other side of, because like people get it for the talking stage, but all they do is send photos.
That's something that
And
like my generation started failing at that, and like I see a lot of your generation fails at the having a conversation. Like I'm less upset with the Snapchat, Facebooks, Discords, text messaging, and all that. over, what people do over it. Because, like, it's the whole idea of the idiots that want to ban guns because somebody did something bad with a gun. It's like this is a tool. Yes, it has the capability of doing great good. It has the capability of doing great bad. What I have trouble with is there's a lot of things that are missing, and our generation greatly missed out on them. Your generation lacks them a lot, but then, like, half of them got it. Like having a conversation. Being able to sit down with someone and carry a conversation.
I have to be, I don't know. To have a conversation, it has to just if I'm not comfortable with them, it only can be one person.
That's fine.
If it's like a whole group and I don't know them, I will if it's like I don't know, if it's really awkward, I'm probably going to be the first one to say anything.
Well, yeah, you grew up with a loudmouth.
But what I'm going to say is probably going to make it 20 times more awkward.
Well, that's the goal. You always go, like, you find that line, and then you don't just step over it. You, like, yeet yourself over with a vengeance. And then it's very easy to come back across the line because that was so daggum awkward that everybody's like, oh, conversation's chill now. Like,
I don't know.
But, yeah, having a conversation and then, like, text messaging has ruined so much because you lose it's like the auto-tune, in my opinion. You lose the inflection in the voice.
I don't mind texting. I think it's cool. But, like, as far as, like, the getting to know someone, texting is better than just sending photos back and forth.
Oh, yeah, texting is fine. But the problem is this.
Yeah,
like, texting people use text for everything.
Exactly.
Like we were talking about, like, if you've got a problem with somebody or, like, if you have issues or, like, a breakup or something, like, it's much better to talk to them in person because you lose, like, we were talking about auto-tune. I mean, God knows how many episodes ago. But, like, what happens when we've been doing this for, like, 5 years and we have no clue what happened? It's coming. But anyways, like, you don't have that ability to understand the inflection in their voice. Because, like, I can send a text message to my wife that says, we need to talk when you get home.
That's like a red flag.
Right.
You need to be able to, like,
panic mode from that
understand
point.
emotion when, though.
Yeah,
I can understand it a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm
when
not good at
texting,
it.
yeah.
But
Yeah, but see,
Especially nowadays, you have a how they type. You can definitely tell because, like, okay,
somewhat, but
your
no,
generation just spells stuff right, okay? Like, our generation is like, Dylan will not type the word you.
yeah, I do the letter.
Why?
because it's simpler.
I'm typing the word you.
You can do that.
You know where all the shorthand texts come from, right?
Their generation.
Do you know why it come from our generation?
But you had
Pagers.
to write notes.
No, because to get to a dadgum C, you had to hit the 1 3 freaking times.
And you had to pay for what the length of your text message.
Every text message cost, and the length cost, like everything was money. So that's why you got all the shorthand text. Everything's freaking the same price for you guys. Type out the dadgum word.
No. Too lazy.
I don't mind the shortness of like the U's and the stuff like that.
I do. It drives me insane because I read it as literally the letter U, and I'm like, that makes no sense. And then I'm like, oh, he means the sound it's making. Because I'm like, because you read it and you go, this is and then you keep going. It's like, what? My dyslexia starts freaking me out. This is
Yeah, help your friend
picture.
out, man. He has a disability.
This
You're just
is-
He knows
trashing
how
all
I
over
text
I
at
know
this
that, but-
point.
just like I tell my parents, if Dylan says he's on the way, he left 45 minutes ago or he's leaving in 45 minutes.
There's no in between.
Yes, but okay, you know how he texts.
Yeah.
You're getting to know someone. You're texting back and forth. You don't know how they text.
No. Well, it depends. Some people are really easy to, like,
If I text you, meet me at the hospital.
I'm going to just meet you at the hospital.
Okay, but what are you going to be thinking?
I don't know, you did something dumb.
If your mama texts you and says, meet me at the hospital.
That life insurance.
Okay, if mom texts me, you're in the hospital.
Why am I always the one hurt? She has been in the hospital 15 times longer than I have. Just because it was having babies doesn't mean anything.
Your tests are in the hospital.
That would be, yeah. But like if I text your mama, hey, meet me at the hospital,
I'm gonna panic.
yeah, she's panicking.
Like when
Why?
that one friend of ours that you were with and he got hurt and
Oh.
you were with him, Dad called me and he was like, "Hey, Malachi was with this person and I'm on my way to the hospital." And he kept talking and I was like, "Hang on, shush. Is it Malachi that's hurt?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Okay, now tell me about the other person."
She was like, yeah, it's just his friend. That's okay. But it's the same.
It
As,
wasn't.
to me, I think that a
The friend
lot.
was a grown up and Malachi was helping him work.
Yeah,
Oh, I know
I
who you're
think
talking
a lot of society.
Text you, make sure you
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah, I think he wouldn't mind
Second
us
story,
name
I
dropping him because like we're gonna have him on eventually, but we'll
Well,
you know,
like,
we'll let
okay.
him introduce himself.
Hey,
But the problem
y'all
with
can
this
tell
is
that
like
story then.
you have to to communicate that inflection, the facial features, like all that. Like you can't get that over like you can't get the visual reference and cues to someone's like mentality or attitude or like how they're feeling over the phone, but you can get that inflection in the voice.
Oh yeah.
Like if you call someone and you're fixing to ask them come help you do whatever, and they pick up the phone and they're like, hello, and you can hear them snotting and sneezing, you are going to more than likely be like, hey, I was going to ask you to come help, but you sound like you feel terrible, man. Like, go on to bed. If you text me, I could be 104th, passed out in my own puke in the front yard. If you ask me to come help you, more than likely my dumb ass is going to get up and come help you.
I don't call Dylan. I just text him and he says, "Okay, I'll be there."
But that's y'all's generation. Like it's in some ways it's okay to me, but in some ways it's like you've lost like a lot of your generation, not all of them, have lost the ability to sit down and have a conversation. That's why I enjoy the 4-H events with like the high schoolers so much, and like the teenage years, like the
I don't know,
congresses and stuff, because a lot of them can actually sit down. Like I've sat down with 3 or 4 of them at a time and like had a really good conversation about their portfolios or their projects, or some of them talk about their home lives or what their hobbies, like they can carry a conversation.
Yeah.
I just keep remembering I'm graduating next year, and that'll be my last year in 4-H.
What do you think about that?
It's gonna
Go
suck.
along
Then you're
with
gonna have to give your like senior
you,
speech.
my friend. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go up there and I'll be like, "Yo,
Do your senior speech
do
In a-
not
in a
run.
Spanish
Do
accent
not get on council.
with a sombrero.
Don't run for anything.
This is my senior speech.
Don't get on council.
Arriba!
Don't be worried about that stupid green jacket.
What green jacket?
If you're on state council, you have to wear that stupid green jacket.
That thing looks so daggum uncomfortable.
Don't worry about that green jacket. Don't worry about the purple vest or the purple polo that's on your regional council. I do 4-H for fun. And so many people make it about that stupid costume or whatever you want to call it, that suit. And they make everybody so popular because of that stupid
A lot
suit.
of people have a hard time going and doing something just for fun. Because like just for fun is dedication. Like there's a lot of stuff you've done over the years. How many like daggum bake sales have we done? Our cooking's concessions. How many times have we went and worked parking lot, traffic in parking lots? How much stuff have we done that is actual work? You had to do the portfolio. Like the 4-H requires you to do an amount of effort.
Yeah.
But that effort to you is you just want to be there, get to know the people, have the experience. You were raised by me. We've done a lot of stuff in our lives that it wasn't necessarily about like this, hey, look at what I've done. It was, hey, we want to do this. We'd like to experience this, So like the 4-H for you is the experience. You enjoy getting to know the people. You enjoy the relationships But there's a lot of people there that in order to put in the work, they have to have some accolades. It's a motivational thing. Like a lot of people that go after the green jackets, super state council people, there's nothing wrong with that. But for them, like the motivation to be there is the accolades.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of people who get there and then they think they have to be cliquey.
That's just what public school teaches people.
I hate that.
It's just what society teaches people.
There's 2 good people. All of them are chill, but there was one person who hung out with us all last roundup. And he got the green jacket. I don't think anything's going to change that he hung out with us, other than that he has to be places quicker.
Yeah.
You know, he has to be different places.
Well, there are some of them that they get the position. And see, that's you're dealing with teenagers, but the problem is most people are like, well, they're just kids. But no, this is all through life. This is at factories and everywhere else.
Yeah.
Like public school and school, in my opinion, and most of society teaches you to isolate yourself from anybody that isn't in your group. Like we are tribal people by nature. Like every human on the planet is tribal by nature as far as like we have our group. But at the same time, like if you get so isolated and so tribal that anybody that like tries to come in like out of it, you don't want them in there.
Also, if I can tell if someone doesn't want to be having a conversation. Because my generation makes it very obvious because they're going to be doing this.
So you don't want to be on this podcast?
Yes, basically. But they're going to be constantly checking their phone. They're going to just doing stuff to not be there.
I think a whole lot of your generation also is like extremely freaking ADHD.
No, they're extremely socially awkward. What happened? A conversation is not that hard.
Snapchat,
There'll be 5
texting.
There'll be 50 people. They'll dance the whole time. Go and try to have a conversation with them. No,
I can do it.
I dance the whole time and I can talk to people. I'm terrible at dancing. I just love I look so stupid up there. Line dances are way too difficult. I still do it.
Yeah,
Fair
but
enough.
see, unlike other people, like not just unlike other people, there's a certain subset of the population that if they're uncomfortable, they're not going to do anything about it. They're just going to be uncomfortable. There's a certain subset that if they're uncomfortable, they want everybody to be uncomfortable. And then there's a subset of the population that if they're uncomfortable, they're going to figure out how to be comfortable and make everybody around them comfortable also. That's me and you. You do
Those
the
are
same
the
thing.
gems.
It's the humor. You come in and you can break the ice, you can break up a situation because we don't care what you think. We're there to have fun and get to know people
I don't know.
and understand.
Sometimes I'm joking on purpose, and then sometimes I say something like genuinely, just like
and
that.
people,
That astonished me. Everybody starts laughing. Like,
yeah, and people don't understand you're telling the truth.
yeah.
When someone comes up and you're like, look, I do not like your personality. I don't like your voice. I don't like your face. And I would appreciate it kindly if you would not be around me. And they're all like, oh, you're a good friend. It's like, I'm telling the truth.
No,
I'll get away
so,
from me.
So this weekend, Dylan, one of the people that was hanging out with my group,
Mhm.
she was like, yeah, talking about her boyfriend. And I genuinely was like, you have a boyfriend.
Hmm.
Someone is dating you, and everybody starts laughing. And then she was really witty about it. She was like, "Where's your girlfriend?" I said, "I don't have one. Who would want to date me?"
This is on.
They were like, and she was like, "Wha-"
And 6 girls around him said,
"Me." No one said that.
They didn't say it. They just looked and said
it was
it
in
with
their
their
head.
eyes.
It was that anime like voice in their head. Do I tell him now? Do I confess
All right,
my
Dylan
love?
can confirm how delusional he is. It's not that.
It's not that, bro.
It's not that bad. It's not even anything. Dylan thinks I have unspoken riz too, but I don't.
You do.
I think you do it to a certain standard.
The-
Not like his standard.
But no, here's the problem.
Okay.
The second I start caring or try to think about, instant loss.
What do you mean?
Like if I like them back, gone.
Just don't care. Though.
No chance. If I don't like them, man, they are like, this guy.
Because women want what they can't have.
Yeah, it's because I literally,
Put a wedding ring on your finger and go to the next camp. Watch what happens.
I think what
You'll have
it
grown
is-
women hitting on you.
I think what
Damn,
it is.
I want that.
I think what it is
Gross. Don't.
is it's the women want people to care, want people who don't care to care about them, or like they want that. They want everybody to think they're beautiful or everybody to think they're this. And when someone walks by and genuinely just could not care less, it drives them insane.
No. It's not that they want you to care. It's that's confidence. Not needing other people's validation comes off as a sign of confidence. When a lot of guys that do it are just jerks. It has nothing to do with them being confident. Women are objects. I mean, like that's how it is. But like your way of caring is also really weird.
Me?
Yeah.
You're not saying women are objects. That's how it is, right? You're saying to those guys.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just check.
I mean, you're my object, but like,
Well, yeah,
Wait,
but that's
okay,
different. You're
you're
my
saying-
object too.
hey,
Hey.
The care is different. What? I'm confused.
Yeah. You show that you care or like someone by treating them the same way you do your sisters,
Sorry, I was not paying attention.
which
What
means
did
he's
you say?
mean.
No, that I like
Mm.
someone?
Yeah.
That is not how.
Who have you told that you like? You don't have to say a name. How many?
It depends. Like, if like, this is the weird part. I'll let you get off your phone.
I'm
Mr.
on my
Distracted.
phone now.
Here, you know what? I'll reply to all my messages too.
It must be nice getting text messages, huh?
How's it going, Dylan?
Hi, it's going good. How about you over there?
Don't be talking to my producer. No, I'm just kidding.
What? Jeez.
You done with your text messages yet?
It's okay. One's a group chat, and I'm not reading all that.
And plus, like, your generation, and the girls are all young, a lot of your generation of females has been taught that getting married is dumb, committing is dumb, and that they should run around and do anything. But then a lot of them have been taught that, but they desire the same things my wife desired. When she was a little girl, she fantasized about having a husband and kids in a house.
Okay, I was talking now. So, you asked how many girls I've actually told that I like them.
Yeah.
2. But, like, I don't know. I'm weird because I'm not, like, if you ask me genuinely, I'm not going to lie about it. I think that's so stupid. Like, if someone comes up and is like, yo, do you like this person? I'll be like, yeah. Or, like, I liked one person. I was like, yeah, beauty, personality.
You
Wow.
told that to her?
Yeah.
Ouch.
That was, like, after I stopped liking them.
Wow.
Jeez.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with doing that.
We're
There's a
probably
lot
there.
of there's a lot of very attractive women out there that have terrible personalities. The problem is, though, society has built up a lot of very non-attractive women into thinking that they are beautiful and that they you know, they can be all, they can act however they want. It's like, I'm sorry. Like, I was born on ugly mode, so I had to learn to, like, get along with society and stuff. My phone is
I
going
know somebody's phone's
Mine too.
vibrating.
Mine was vibrating.
Mine's not. Don't
So,
worry
like,
about it.
you know, you had to learn to, like, get along with society. Like, when you're ugly, you got to learn to be funny and charismatic. And, like, that used to be the way a lot of the women were. Like, you get a bigger woman, not necessarily ugly, but bigger, not necessarily, you know, you don't want to see them in spandex. And you don't want to see me in spandex. I understand that. I don't mind that. But the problem is this. They've been taught that they're so beautiful, but they're not taught that you're beautiful because of your personality and how you act and how you treat people and how you take care of yourself, and that you dress in, like, clothes that are appropriate for your body type. And that goes for men and women.
Yeah.
They're taught that they're beautiful just because they're beautiful. And you see women, like, there's that one podcast I watch all the time. I don't know the dude's name. Like, we see shorts of them all the time. It's the one dude and another dude, and they'll have a bunch of women around the table all the time.
Oh, I know who you're
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah.
But I don't know the name.
Well,
But, like, there's a bunch of them that go on, and, like, there's women that come on there, and he's asking, you know, like, what do you bring to the table? And they're like, well, I'm pretty, I'm a woman.
Hang on, keep it up, keep it up, keep
Dylan
it up.
first, and then I'll go again.
Oh,
Mm.
oh my gosh. Hang on.
Pelican!
2 in a row.
Hey, let's do it. That's it. We did it. Yes, sir.
All right, we're never doing that
Episode
again.
13, 429 shots and 2 goals.
Even though I did 2, but none of them count.
I mean, you hit the trash can, didn't you?
Yeah, but I'm talking about the other 2 before that.
Well, it
The
doesn't
boo.
count when you throw an entire shoe at the trash can.
I think it counts.
Okay.
So
Back
what
to
were we
what we
talking
were
about?
talking about.
Just about, like, you was talking about, like, being beautiful and then having a terrible personality. Like, there's a lot of girls out there that I've met now, and a lot of guys I've met too, that just have personalities like everybody wants. They're an Adonis and everybody wants them. But it's like, your body just doesn't, you can't act like that and look like that. I'm sorry. Like, society is can lie to you all you want, but, like, actual nature of humanity will dictate how you can act based on your looks.
Yeah.
If you're a beautiful person, a lot of times you can get away with a little bit more.
Also, I think we should unpopularize daddy issues. Just get good parents.
Maybe we shouldn't unpopularize daddy issues. Maybe we should popularize. Will you say that for me?
What am I trying to say?
Popularize. That's right, right?
I think so.
It just sounds wrong.
It
But anyways,
doesn't
maybe we
sound
should
right.
maybe we should bring back guys being fathers.
No, I'm
And-
all right.
And
Because you had a father figure step in your life.
Exactly.
No,
and
I
that's
just think,
okay.
like the way
the same thing though, but like I want to put on women too. Like women need to go back being mothers. The amount of men that I have counseled in the past 10 years that their women come in, this is with children and everything, and just said, I'm done with you. I don't want to be a mom. I don't want to be a wife, and has just taken off, is terrible. And like when I was your age, that was unheard of.
yeah.
Now that's 4 out of 5 conversations that I get into with people when they start talking about breakups and divorce and stuff.
Yeah.
Every daggum time I'm talking to a guy, I'll be talking to a girl. She'll flat out say, yeah, I was done with him. I didn't want them kids anyways. And it's like, I think that's biblically the end times, the revelations, like a woman leaving her natural inclination. I don't think it has anything to do with lesbianism. I
Well,
think that has to do with women not wanting to be
I
mothers.
asked someone, I was like, why do girls always, like, when they figure out the relationship isn't going to work, why do they always stay longer? And it's the first person that ever just genuinely said, for the attention. It was a girl. She was just saying that was why she did it. And it
Yeah.
was like, that was the first person that had ever told me, like,
Sometimes
up.
it's for the attention, and then a lot of times you see it to where I think men and women do this. It's the 90-10. You get a partner that has 90% of what you want, but 10% of it isn't what you want. And so over the years, you begin to focus and just harp and harp and harp in your own mind on that 10% they don't have. And you get to thinking that if you leave them, you can go find somebody that's got that 90 and that 10.
so far on spectrum. I'm not talking about marriage.
I'm
You're
talking about
way up here
No,
on age.
I'm talking
about like dating. I'm talking about like
even in
way
dating.
lower.
I have talked to many people who over the years were like, I knew I should have stayed with this girl or that guy. Like even thinking about them now, it's like I knew I should have made that relationship work. And this is just in dating, but like they did this and I didn't like this, or they liked sports, or they liked this. But like that's in all situations. You get it. People get this fantasy idea in their head that Prince Charming's going to come along after they got date raped and give them a kiss and make everything better, right? Why was she sleeping? She got poisoned and put in the woods with 7 dwarfs until some dude come along and kissed her.
He kissed her. He didn't molest her.
Not in the books.
What did the dwarfs do?
Nothing.
You sure?
Yes.
I don't believe it.
Wasn't it the books?
I think you're reading the wrong books.
No, there was a. I
he's
swear
talking
they
about the
said-
original.
Yeah, the
Disney,
original
the
Disney.
original Disney. right?
In the original, the books probably were messed up. We'll look that up, but like, I don't
I
know.
swear that's
Google
what
it.
happened.
You're the producer. Use
The
your Google
originals
powers.
are messed up. Like
The original of almost everything, like was it the fairy tales?
yeah, all the
Brothers
original,
Grimm?
just all the original fairy tales are messed
That's
up.
because fairy tales
Yeah.
originally weren't told to tell a happy story at bedtime. Fairy tales were originally told to teach a moral or a safety lesson. Like a lot of the fairy tales and stuff about the woods and the water, stuff like that. A lot of that was
No. There is no indication that in the original version of Snow White fairy tale that the prince rapes her.
That's not what we asked. We asked you to look up the original story. Why would you type into Google, did Snow White get raped?
because that's what me and him were talking about.
That's what you were talking
'Cause
about.
I swear.
I'm
that's
not going to
what
read the whole
happened.
original Snow White on air.
Why not?
Well,
From
because it
beginning
would take a
to
lot
end.
longer than the 30 minutes we have
Hey,
left
we got
for
our
one.
next 15 episodes.
There we go.
Bam! You're going to do them all this week. We're going to pre-do all the shorts.
Yep.
If it gets
My
the 100
girl,
likes.
My girl.
Well,
You're going to wind up reading. Hey, I need you to spread this around.
I got you.
You don't even have to watch. Click on it, like it.
I have 3 separate accounts. I can make more.
I love listening to her read. she doesn't do it for me that often, but like she'll read me like stories or whatever every now and then, or like a
Yeah.
book she's reading. And
I fumble over my words so
Me
bad.
too. I cannot read out loud.
Blah, blah, blah.
I can't either. I can read pretty
Terrible.
good, but I can't. Read
she
out
can
loud.
match almost any key singing.
Mom reads weird out loud though.
When
I do.
she stories it.
It's like I don't know. It's like
She doesn't read you information. She tells a story.
I don't
That's why
know.
she gets
It's
messed up,
really,
too.
It's really preppy when you.
Preppy. Shakespearean.
No, I don't know how to explain
She
it.
says,
Like
"Oh,
when
Romeo."
if we're reading the Bible, the way Mom reads it is completely different from everyone else. Like me, I'm sitting there going, and when I read out loud, I'm going, and I am the one that.
But you're also
because
like me. You're dyslexic. You
there's
have to
nothing
look
going-
at one word.
There's nothing going, and I am in my head. If I don't know what it means, I just skip over it.
Now, see, I read so fast that when I read out loud, I am saying this word as my brain is actually reading like 100 words down here. And so when I read out loud, I have to really slow
I
down
definitely don't do that.
and point. But no, I have to do like you do. I have to point at each word with my eyes to be able to read it out loud. Because if not, I'm reading ahead, and then what I'm saying gets all jumbled. And
That's like when we're in life points the past 2 weeks that we've been going. Just like he's like, who wants to read? And I'm just like, and why everyone's sitting there debating all these people who can read out loud great. I just start reading in my head because I know they can read faster than me. So I finish it before all of them are all arguing about it.
And see, that's like you have something that makes you need to compensate to be as fast as everybody else. But instead of being like, oh, I got this problem,
Oh, I hate
you're like, okay, let me figure out how to make things work for me.
when people used to laugh, like when I would read something wrong. Like it doesn't matter to me if you tell me I read it wrong. Just tell me how to pronounce it. That's all I care
said
about.
tinnitus instead of tendonitis one daggum time in a company meeting, and it took me 12 years before I left the company. There's people probably still that if I said tinnitus would be like, you mean tendonitis? I'd be like, shut up.
See, like, I'm okay with that. I think it's funny. But, like, when I was at 4-H events with Tess, she'd be like, he has dyslexia. You
Don't
can't-
make fun of my
you can't-
brother.
You can't make fun of him. It's a genuine disability.
Nobody cares.
Brother, man, I don't care. Laugh at me all you want.
Yeah,
I
but
laugh
that-
at myself more
That's
than
your
you do.
sister trying to take up for you. And you should be proud because Tess would laugh at anybody else.
That is very true.
Tess not only would laugh at anybody else, she would be like, oh, you lost the dance competition. And they'd be like, I tried really hard. And be like, you can't dance with no legs. You're in a wheelchair. Why'd you even enter? That would be Tess. But the fact that someone laughs at her little brother and they're like, she's. Now, my sister would have laughed at me and then glared at them and then laughed at me again and then whooped my ass when we got home. My, 5'1", 100-pound soaking wet sister.
Not by the time you were his age.
Yeah, I think the last time that she actually hit me with something, I was about 13 or 14. I finally just punched her. I was like, you can only get whipped with a dog chain so many times over your lifetime before you realize, like, this got stopped. This little lady gonna kill me. I'm the last one
I
standing.
hate explaining that to Kiri.
Good job.
What do you mean?
It's
Explain
like-
what.
She's like, when you do that, I'm going to tell Mom. And I said, I give you a reason. I give you a genuine thing. I said, do not do this again, or this is going to happen. Mom will be on my side.
That's kind of like the whole Ukraine war thing. They were like, we don't know why Putin did it. He's like, well, if you do this, I'm going to do this. And they were like, bet. Why'd you invade?
I said, Kiri, you have a problem of getting too close. If you get too close to me again, I'm going to burp in your face.
Oh, you mean how she like no personal space? Yeah.
How would you like it? This was Addison everywhere you went. No matter where you went. Would this not get annoying?
I love these new microphone stands.
Y'all can. I would straight up punch her to be honest.
So I said, from now on, the closer you get to me, I'm going to burp in your face. She said, well, Mom said you can't do that. I said, I will give Mom a valid reason. You can learn to be 2 feet away from me.
Okay, now let's turn to the judge. Is that a valid reason?
Carrie can be Velcro. I understand that That's difficult.
And it's everywhere we go. Like
The problem is
She also admires
we've
you
been
a
at
lot.
the
She
soup
does.
kitchen. We've been at the soup kitchen for 2 years.
she does
You
admire
can
you
sit over there.
a whole lot, though. She looks up to you. Don't say I don't
know.
care.
Y'all
Yeah.
say that every day.
Aw,
I
how do you
get it.
feel about your little sister looking up to you?
You got 3 of them.
I know. No, I don't. I have 4.
I was talking to Dylan.
Oh, none of them look up to him.
Yeah,
None
they
of them look
do.
up to me.
No,
Yeah, they
Willow and
do.
Ayla, Ayla
They-
definitely does.
Yeah.
Let's see, look.
And the older one does too. They all they will look to you in a certain, like, people do not understand. You could explain it, right? I can explain it just because
Instagram,
psychology
I
and
mean-
all the crap I study, but like for you,
Private video. All right,
Yeah.
you have 3 sisters.
Yeah.
And they're all special to you,
Of course, yeah.
okay?
Already watched this.
But the brother,
It's
I'm not
different.
reading all that.
every one of you guys, that brother is different.
Yep.
And to him, like, I can speak from a brother's standpoint, like,
But you only have one sister.
yeah, so
So you
Doesn't
can't
count.
speak it. You can't speak in the only. Everyone sees you different. You can't speak in that term because you only had one.
well, no, that's why I asked her. All your sisters, you are completely different on a different level in their mind than their sisters are. You are their Bubba. You
Yep.
are the bee's knees. They will depend on you. They will look.
You're the big.
I went full like 40s, you know, like
Hand me that.
back when Tasia was little and she
Did you
didn't
what?
have black and
That
white
white
TV.
I know, right? How was that about?
I blow my nose on that all the time. Oh, that's what you're doing
Black
with it?
and white, going down to the creek and washing your car.
Here you go, Mom.
We went on our honeymoon. They let us go to the barn loft.
That is false.
The
We stayed
bee's
at a very
knees.
nice bed and
That's
breakfast.
crazy.
We stayed at Fall Creek Falls. There was so much flooding. Have you ever been to Fall Creek Falls?
Yeah.
Okay. You know how it's like, right? There was so much flooding and water coming over it that the water was shooting across and like hitting the side you're standing at almost. Like it was hitting the rocks about 6 foot below the lookout, right?
Yeah.
That's the only time I had ever seen Fall Creek Falls. 16, 17 years later, I get a motorcycle. Me and Tasia's like, hey, we need to take a motorcycle ride. It's a good, 3.5 hour ride? I was like, we're going to take a long trip. I love riding motorcycles. I get up there. It's a dadgum trickle.
Yeah.
It's this little, just,
No,
my
it was
mind-
it was like drought season too.
yeah, but no, like,
Every
Even-
time
even
I've
with-
been there, it was terrible.
even with the drought in my mind, I was thinking, like, that was enough water. What's that, 100-foot gap? Like, it was freaking awesome. But then, like, it was flooding. So I assumed it would be less, like a
Yeah.
quarter maybe. No, it was like 100th. It looked like 4 guys were standing behind the tree pissing off the edge. It's like how little water was coming off compared to, it's such a huge disappointment. It's like when you have a radio person. That's why we went straight to YouTube, right? Because somebody out there would have made like pictures in their head of what we look like over the years from listening to us. And then they would have seen a picture of us and been like, I can't listen to him anymore. That's not his voice.
Yeah, that
First time I
Right.
seen Dave Ramsey, I grew up listening to Dave Ramsey. She calls, we go to the show, like he walks out. I'm like, that's not Dave Ramsey. Them lying bastards. You need to take him back and you need to send out the real Dave,
Dave
Ramsey.
Ramsey looks like our neighbor right across. the
Because that's what Brian, he kind of
His-
does. He'll be all right.
He does
Uh,
look.
He works for like
Dan
a
Cummins?
public position.
when I first heard the scared to death and all that.
And
when I-
Lindsay too.
I've not
well,
looked him up.
I didn't think
I
about her.
pictured Dan and Lindsay as like Josh and Tammy.
No,
Big- a
but
big
but,
dude,
but,
yes,
but
what I
no, no, no.
did too.
I pictured like a tiny person
I
for
pictured
both
her.
of them. Two
Oh, yeah.
scrawny
Well,
nerds.
well, no, like I pictured Josh and Tammy, shorter, cute couple that they love each other, But then I seen a picture and I'm like,
I've never seen a picture of them.
pull them up for me, Dan and Lindsay Cummins.
I've never seen them. I don't know.
It's
if I
gonna blow.
want
It's
to.
gonna blow your daggone
I
mind.
picture them as like
Anyways,
Lily skin.
Dan and Lindsay
like-
Cummins. What do they do? The
Scared to
Death podcast,
uh,
phenomenal podcast. Time Suck. I've never listened to,
Me
but it's
neither.
a popular one. Like if you guys are listening
Oh,
to this,
they're adorable.
Let me see.
yeah. But that is not what you pictured them looking like,
Nah,
or like I
Let's see.
pictured like Hank and Amanda. Not that.
no, I did not picture that at all.
Hang on, hit on that again. That's how I pictured her though. Him, no, he's a scrawny guy with no beard. But her, that's how I pictured
I thought he was
her.
bigger.
No, I was
That was
picturing
my
a
picture.
a small couple. Like that's exactly how I pictured Lindsay, or whatever her name is.
It's Lindsay.
But like you see that picture right there.
Dan is way too big.
Yeah, and
That is
he's
not
he's
what I
built
pictured.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're expecting to have this like I kind of pictured him like a short Burt Krishner.
Oh,
I have no idea who that is. Is
He's-
that one more like what you're thinking?
No.
He looks more scrawny in that one.
When I say scrawny, I'm talking about like that guy who used to come like help do bees and stuff. That wore shorts all the time, like an idiot.
You talking about a hippie?
Yeah.
No,
That's strong.
you're talking about Hunter.
The one who wore
Stop
shorts.
saying names.
He doesn't care. He's the chillest dude on the
The
planet.
one who
and
wore-
if you actually hear this, Hunter, get your butt back over here. I ain't seen you in like 10 years, man. It'd be
He
cool
would.
to catch
He
up.
wore freaking. He came and he had like one basketball shorts on. He was like, "These will be fine, right?"
Yeah.
And then he got.
And he was fine.
He took paracord. No, he got stung like 3 times.
He didn't care.
He took paracord and just tied his
Are
shorts
you
up.
starting now?
I'm fixing my stuff. Give me one.
He's going to.
Which, if you
Mileage.
want to see pure joy, that summer I had 2 guys from work come over, like
Mom,
younger dudes
we
from work,
get it. We know who they are now.
that were helping me keep bees, and they had never kept bees before. And then at the end, when it was time to harvest the honey, they got to sit down with me and harvest some honey.
Yeah.
And like we got like what, a couple gallons that year? It wasn't much that year, but like I had them like 2 or 3 quarts apiece to give them, and they didn't realize I was just gonna give them some honey. It's like, dude, you helped me all like season. But they looked like you imagine 2 6-year-olds. You give them a thing of pixie sticks and a glass of Kool-Aid and tell them they can sit in the sun on the sidewalk and do whatever they want to do. Right? There's going to be sugar everywhere. There's going to be pouring Kool-Aid down. That's what these 2 dudes were like with the honey. They had it coming straight off the comb. And at one point, we was getting the last out of like the extractor, and they're both like holding it up for each other and like they were smiling. They were covered with honey all over. Like it was like, dude, and they were like, man, I never thought honey could be so good. And I was like, well, what makes it so good? And like, well, it's fresh, all this stuff. But they're like, and like, we took care of these bees, man. I'm like, you guys eat all the honey, and they said
Fresh honey does taste better.
I like to get
It does
the
taste a lot
comb.
better.
The
Just-
comb?
just the
Yeah.
with the wax, and just I can chew on that all day.
I used to like getting a comb until a dude I kept bees with for like 10, 12 years. We went to check on a hive that somebody had behind their house that they hadn't opened in like 4 or 5 years. And like it had a bunch of supers on it, and everything. But like these bees, they had had a good time in 4 or 5 years. There's a big population. There was comb everywhere. But like he was pulling out all the comb that needed to be like gotten out of the way so we could put fresh frames, and actually get some of the honey off. And he hands me a big old pile of honey, comb all still in it. And of course, I'm just gonna get a bite. I unzip my hood. My beard at this time is down to here, and I think for some reason that I can just do like this and get to my mouth, just straight through the beard. Like it took like 4 hours in the shower with hot water. You remember that? She was in there laughing her tail because my whole beard's like just stuck together with honey at the end of the day, and it's like, okay, honeycomb from now on that's like boned in hot wings.
No, like the little. I'm not taking a big chunk.
Why not? It's good.
He
Could be-
doesn't want to get it in his beard.
Yeah.
I can't grow a beard.
You will.
I don't really want a beard
Why not?
because then I'd look like you even more than I already do.
Okay. My whole life, people come up to me like, your dad's hot. And I'm like, I don't care.
I've never been told that
Thank goodness.
ever.
Well, also, like, your mama's still alive.
Yeah.
It's like other
Dad's
women.
dad was like single during that period.
I don't care.
Yeah. But they'd be like, your dad is so good looking and all this stuff. And like, I used to, like, just be creeped out by it and just weirded out by it. But now, like, as I get older and people are like, you look a lot like your daddy. And it's like, damn right I do.
You do not look like your dad.
Yeah, he does. A little bit.
I look like my dad and my mom had a baby.
Just like us.
You
Yeah.
want to tell him or you want me to? That's how it works. That's how you're made.
What?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
I'm pretty
Your
sure.
dad and mom did have a baby.
Yeah.
That's why you look like that.
and they had an amazing baby.
Eh.
I was looking for the amazing baby you
Yeah.
were talking
Which
about.
I will say, like, do your parents, were you the good kid or were you
Yes.
the
Apparently, I was a good kid.
okay. were you really a good kid, or was it in perspective?
I have
It
no
was
idea.
in perspective.
Because like everybody in my family would tell me like you were such an amazing child, you were a good kid, all this stuff. And then like me and Tasia are reading my baby book. And it's like me at 3, 4, 5 years old. Like I'm fighting people, I'm cursing, I'm lying all the time. I'm a little cunt. Like I'm just terrible.
I didn't do that. Apparently I
But
was
my
a good kid.
sister was so daggum bad that I was
I
the
told
good
you
kid.
it's in perspective.
I was
Yeah.
awesome
In
because
his
she
baby
was
book,
terrible.
his mom wrote, Andrew won't stop cussing, even though he knows it's wrong.
Yeah, and I've always been logical. I was the kid that the principal called him in there and said, "Did you do this?" And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Why?" And I said, "Because that's what felt like the thing to do at the time. Like,
Yeah, that's
I'm going to own up to the consequences."
what I was talking about. Just the people who lie for no reason. I hate that crap.
Well, it depends on what you're lying for.
I'm also gonna put.
No reason. He just said.
I'm also gonna put in my senior speech for 4-H is that it taught me how much I hate people who just won't participate because they're so worried about what other people think.
That, and sometimes
Oh,
I don't know
I just want to pick you up and beat you. I've never wanted to.
but a lot of it
like,
is that's how they've been raised.
The
They haven't been
urge.
taught to be confident. Their parents pick at everything they do. Like you could attest to this. Like you've known kids like
They're
this.
better now. The person I wanted to beat to a buddy pop, they're better now.
But like when your parents only interact with you for negative consequences,
What?
or if your parents only interact with you, or even just the adults in your life, your siblings or anything. Like if you come up and show me your art project, right? You're 5, 6 years old. And instead of telling you good job, I find the one thing wrong with it every daggum time. If every time I critique you, I've never told you good job, the only thing I tell you, well, that looks great, but this is messed up. You begin to be insecure. You begin to constantly look for the own flaws in your daggum self.
Huh?
You're talking about the kids that don't want to participate. I'm talking about like a lot of that mentality, I think, is developed by they're around people who do not know how to encourage. Like you need to be able
Well, this
to
particular
to
person
correct.
I'm talking about it was their older brother. You know, I've told you this story.
Yeah,
but
no,
it was,
I know what you're talking
it
about,
was
but like a
my-
lot of that
my
comes
older-
from insecurity.
My older brother would make this weird. My older brother would make this weird. Your older brother lives 6 hours away. Nobody's recording you. What's the problem? All you had to tie a tissue box to your back, and then you had to shake all the ping pong balls out. They didn't care if you did.
Oh, I'd have rocked that.
Here's-
I'm a twerking fool.
Here's what the problem was. They didn't even care if you moved when you got up there. They just wanted you to go up there.
Just get up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just stand there. I just stood there. I didn't care if I won or not. The second it started, those guys like started freaking out. I was like, they are doing too much. So
Well, you can also think about
and
the
then-
same mentality. Like you're worried about what your peers think, but there's also people that have never been exposed to like having to go do uncomfortable things.
it's not uncomfortable if you just stand there.
Yeah, but it's not uncomfortable with you because I've been shoving you in weird situations your whole life.
No,
You 6, 7 years old. I'd be like, go in there and get my parts for me. You'd be like, all right. You go in there, strike up a conversation, get my parts, and come out. You've been doing it your whole
my
life.
Take it
favorite
to the
story.
store.
My favorite story is the one where you went to the bathroom at the tool store, the steel
Oh,
store,
Dadgummit. Yeah.
and I already had the pulley rating, and they gave me a bag of free stuff.
We go to the small engine
Heck
shop because I need a new pulley for my mower. This is one of my commercial mowers. And what are you, 10, 11?
Probably 10 or 11, yeah.
Yeah. We go in there. I'm like, I'm going to run to the bathroom. You just go wait at the counter. I go pee. And, like, I pee a lot. So, like, I pee really quick. I wash my hands. I'm gone maybe a minute and a half. He's already got my pulley. He's got another part I needed. I think you had some 2-stroke oil up there, too, because I'd forgot we needed that. And then dude gives him like free safety glasses, a chainsaw file bag, and like chainsaw, like everything. And I'm like, because I come around the corner and I'm like, I need it. He's like, he's already got it. I'm like, what do you mean he's already got it? He's like, he's got this part, you've got this, and you've got that. And then I'm going to give him, and I'm like, okay, heck, I'm not even going to come in anymore if I don't want to. But like, that's you at 10. But you spent a lot of time. You were homeschooled, so you spent a lot of time with your mother, with me. You spent a lot of time actually interacting with people.
And other adults.
When you are not exposed to that a lot, and not like, because a lot of people won't make kids do things in certain situations because, like, oh, they're shy, it's going to make them nervous. It's a whole lot better to do it now than when they've got 15 years.
Well, I
of
like
being
that you
nervous.
never made me do speeches.
You didn't want to do it.
But like working with the person we can't name since I was 6, right? Or 7. Whenever Mom started it out bad.
He's not Voldemort. You can say his name
Hang
if
on,
you want
hang on,
to,
hang
but
on,
I'm
wait a
not
minute.
going to say his name unless I get
But
permission.
I'm going to text him real quick and just say, hey, can I use your name? Because, like, you come up way too often.
So, I don't know, just it was like being treated as another adult.
Can we say your name on the podcast? Because you come up way too often in stories.
Anyway, whenever I just got treated the same as he did because we were so stupid, both of us, and he is just as dumb as I was. So I was the voice of reason half the time. Because he'd be like, man, that'll work. I'm like, no. I remember one time he wanted to unbend a piece of metal. It was like this. We had put it against a tree. It was a firm piece of metal. It would just bounce back. He's like, if I jump off that pile of four pallets onto that, you think it'll unbend? No.
Yeah.
Okay, you hold it still. His toe was purple for like the next 3 weeks.
What was he, like, 18, 19 when y'all
No.
started?
He was like 24.
No, I'm talking about, like, when he's, like, around the time that he started, like, this ambition was, like,
Like
in his
20.
2021,
Yeah.
right?
Like early 20s.
But, yeah, he's working with a guy. He started working with a guy when he's around 6 that
I would say probably 7.
I met at
6
church.
might be
Well,
too
you
young.
started hanging out with him around 6.
Yeah,
And
probably.
started working probably around 7, 8. You were driving a tractor by 8, so, like,
Yeah,
I know
so
you
it
worked
had
with
to
him
be
when
like
you were
a
7.
year, yeah.
But I meet him at church. Like he kind of becomes like, I mentor him a little bit, but we become friends really quick. Malachi and him like hang out, like they enjoy their time together, and like he starts working with Malachi. But like you got to look at the mentality of the young guy that we're talking about. Is at this time he's 20, 21, and he's like, you know what? I want to be a chicken farmer, and just says piss on it, and up goes and gets $1 million loan, or you know what? I don't even know if it's $1 million, but I mean it's a lot of money for a 20-year-old. Doesn't matter. And buys a farm, and like his goal is, I want to make X amount of money because I want to have foster children, I want to do this, I want to support this, and like he's just got this ambition. And unlike so many people that I know that like they have all these dreams and like, well, I got to figure out how everything's going to work.
Yeah.
And no, this bro's like, I'm going to do it. And they're
Head
like, well, how
first.
are you going to do it? And he's
Head
like, I don't
first.
freaking know.
Head first. Everything he does is head first. I don't know.
Good and bad thing.
It seems like he always has a different project started.
Yeah, he does. And we'll bring his name up next time because he just gave me permission. But
Well,
like,
it's like, okay, whenever we were unloading that trailer 2 days ago? Yeah. Yesterday.
Wednesday, 2 days ago.
No. Yeah, Wednesday.
It is Friday.
He was rolling the freezer down, and I was supporting it from the U-Haul. I said, oh, don't drop it, don't kill me. He said, out of all the chances I could have killed you, right now would not be the one. And I was like, that is a very valid point. And I was like, those like 200-acre farms we've been in the middle of just doing absolutely nothing. You could so many chances.
Now, we got to wrap it up because I'm pretty sure your mom's going to tell us too, but I want you to lead out with the story of why I called your mama and said, we're at the hospital.
Okay. Do you want me to just tell the whole story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Real quick. Break it
So we were putting up a, what are those called? Mini split
Yep.
in his upstairs attic. And they had to hang up, we had to hang out we were hanging the outdoor unit up top so that we didn't have to run stuff all the way down to the ground. And it was what was it, like a boom lift?
Yeah, it was a big boom lift.
Yeah, but it wasn't the ones with the like big fancy carts around it. It was just a pallet. Well, he just dangled his legs off the edge. And like I raised him up. He taught me how to do it. And then I get up and he's fine. Then he says, "Hey, go grab me this." And I jump off. And at the time, there's a loop just like this. I don't know if y'all can see that.
They can see it.
Okay. It was just like that. It grabbed the e-brake. And this is, honestly, if I wasn't, it's fault. Like, we could have
We're going to have to bleep that out.
Why? Anyway, the e-brake had a malfunction and the lock system didn't work. So I jumped down and it caught the e-brake, and he didn't know there was a low gear that it had.
It wasn't necessarily all the equipment people's fault. It was just the Titanic didn't sink because of that iceberg. The Titanic sunk because of a series of retarded events. And I think that's one of those scenarios.
But apparently there's a gear in between drive and neutral that will move crippling slow. So by the time
But it won't stop. It's like turtle mode on a dozer.
So by the time I'm getting the stuff, he is flailing like this,
Pinned against the wall.
yelling, back up, back up. Man, I had no idea how to back this thing up. So I'm trying to figure out how to move the lift down, and I get him to the ground, and he's like, man. And so I get him. He had a recliner in his carport. So I get,
Okay.
and I'm like this tall. He's probably 6'1", and I'm like kind of helping him get to the recliner, and he gets there, and he's like, all right, let's call your dad, and let's see if we're going to the emergency room or not.
And, okay, here's where I come in. I am taking a nap. I'm at home, probably with my back out because I've had back issues for years, and it's never good. But, like, I'm at home taking a nap, and I wake up to the phone ringing, and Sandusky says, hey. No, Malachi is talking to me, and Malachi's like, hey, Sandusky got pinned in between the house and the equipment. And, like, I'm pretty sure he explained it correctly as what was, going on. But in my mind, when I let him go, I'm throwing on my clothes because I'm going to drive over there, and he's still going to be in between the equipment and the house, right? In my head, his butt's going to be dangling from the house. So, like, I'm driving like a maniac.
It was you and Angel, right?
Yep. I get there. Bro's chilling in a recliner on the carport. I'm like, what? And so he shows me where it hits, and it hits like right in the crook of his knee, like right on the joint.
Left or right leg? I can't even remember. I think it was the left leg.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was, but like he shows it to me, and like I am the last person. I give myself stitches. How many times have I super glued myself shut?
A lot.
I give myself my own round of antibiotics.
Super glued
like,
me shut a few times.
Yeah, like I grew up with an RN nurse. Like I know how to take care of myself. We grew up poor too, so but like I'm never gonna tell you to go to the hospital. But I thought, and this was all God, because like in the back of my mind, I thought there's a lot of stuff going on in that area. And I was like, dude, let's just go ahead and take you just in case, like just to see. Like it may be nothing, but like just in case.
Yeah.
So we go, and
I want to tell the best part of the story, so you can't tell that part.
which part is that?
You know which part.
The best part of the entire situation.
So we go to the hospital. They x-ray him, and then shortly after that, they're going to the what? Life flight? Was that
No,
it?
okay. So when we get there, he's like, man, I'm really hungry. So me and my sister, as I was going to say at the time, but she's still my sister, so that makes no sense. But me and my sister get in the, what was it, his Toyota Sienna or something like that.
Yeah.
We get in it, and we drive down to Burger King, and, like, it's Burger King, the emergency room, if you're looking at it on, like, a GPS. It's right down the road. So we drive down there. We get, I don't know, we all got, like, a double Whopper probably, the same thing, and fries and a drink. And he was like, I'll pay since you guys drove me here. And so we get back, and he's going to eat. He gets the wrapper off, barely. And the doctor comes in there and goes, no, you're being life flighted. You can't have any food.
Yep.
And then I got to eat 2 double Whoppers.
And but it's at this point we find out that it has crushed his arteries, and the swelling is cutting off the blood flow to the bottom half of his leg. And the doctor was basically like, you would have woke up with your leg dead, and like would have lost your leg.
Yeah, they were like, if you
He
wouldn't have come, your leg would have been purple and fallen off.
Yeah, he had to have like veins reconstructed, like
It was super
vac.
cool. Yeah, his whole side of his leg was like, it was all open here, and you could just see straight in there.
Yeah, but they used
It
like
was
a
so
wound vac system.
How many times did we go up there? Once?
I only went up there.
Yeah, we only
once.
went
I
up
don't
there
know.
once, but we went up to Vanderbilt, and what did we play? That was the weirdest game ever. What was it
Oh,
called?
what was it?
Skip?
Skippo.
Skip-Bo. He taught us how to play Skip-Bo. I remember that. I've never played that game again.
No. But think about it, like the whole idea of this.
He was explaining the wound vac. I don't even remember half of it. Super cool.
The whole idea of this podcast is like encouraging people to like have conversations.
Yeah.
Like if you want to
It
get
was
to
a
know,
fun game.
if you want to get
It
to
was
know
pretty
people,
fun.
hang out with them.
I don't remember how to play it, but
But like the stories you're telling of like the people in our life that mean the most to us, like the reason they mean a lot to us is because we've spent time together. And like so, like anybody listening, like for kind of like a lead out, like if you want to get to know your son, if you want to get to know your wife better, if you want to know your son's friends better, like if you just want to know anybody
that sounds
better,
a little weird.
well, not like if you want to develop relationships with people, if you want to show people,
You want to know your son's friend better.
not like that.
Don't
Listen,
be gross, son.
if your pockets are hanging out the bottoms of your jeans, don't get to know your son's friends better. But like the whole goal is like
What's wrong with a good pair of Jordans?
spend time with people,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
put effort into relationships.
And with that, like, subscribe, follow, share, or don't do any of that, but preferably
No.
do.
But prefer if you would like to.
You can do whichever you want. And I hope you enjoy.
Goodbye.